I don't mind telling my story because I think our story is a God story. It's a story that God has formed in our lives, and so I don't mind telling it. A little bit about my background. My mother was an evangelist, and she and her father would do revivals in tents, okay? And that's how my dad came to know the Lord, was in a tent revival where my mother was one of the evangelists. My mother and dad were pastors of small churches. So all the time I was growing up, we were in churches probably never over 100. In the 40s, when I was growing up, there was not a lot of cash for tithing, and a lot of things were given out of gardens. And I would watch my mother and father document this because you want to pay tithe on them. But I never saw my mother and dad as someone that was doing anything other than loving the Lord and wanted to follow the scriptures that says, you know, when you pay your tithes, that the windows of heaven would open up. And they believed that was the truth, and we believe it today, of course, that God would bless them. You know, for me, it was just a learning experience from my parents that had so little, and watch them give tithe and see God bless them. And I think it's important to know that God will bless you in your giving. You don't give to get, you give to give, and that's what I saw in my parents. You know, I know my mom and dad, the most important thing in their life is to serve God because what they did with their finance. So they lived it. And so because they lived it, I think that was one of the things that impressed me the most about their life, that God came first because the way they gave.